day everyone, I'm Divine member Rebecca Baltera from BA Ed Section 1B, and for now, allow me to share with you and discuss with you some information about living in the IT era. But before that, allow me also to use this laptop or use this technology for me to be able to read some notes that I will be discussing it to you. So now, let's start. So what is living in the IT era? Living in the IT era will examine communication and information technologies with particular emphasis on the internet and its components, and in particular, how they are used by the millennial generation. So now, let me ask you, are we living in digital era? Are we living in millennial generation? Definitely, yes. Today, we live in a digital world, and most of our relationships have moved through chats, messengers, social media, and many other ways of online communication. Let me give you this scenario. We may not see each other, but we do share our data. We may not also talk to each other, but we do give opinions virtually. So now, try to think. Due to pandemic, there are a lot of changes happen, especially during quarantines and lockdowns. Can't you notice that with the help of the technology, we can still do our part, even though it is virtually? And I admit it was hard at first to learn via online. But at least we surpassed and learned something in return, especially in our studies. And since we're talking about our studies, what is the importance of information technology in our education? Technology provides students with easy-to-access information, accelerated learning, and fun opportunities to practice what they learn. It also enables students to explore new subjects and broaden their understanding of difficult concepts. And now, what have you learned in living in the IT era? The students of this course will be acquainted with the history of computers and information technologies. They must be able to define the difference between pros and cons, to familiarize the new trends and upcoming technologies, and construct possible future of information technologies. And yes, since we tackled about pros and cons, or in other words, the advantage and disadvantage of the technology, let me discuss to you some of these. So what are the advantage of living in the IT era? So based on my discussion earlier, we can communicate through online video chats or other platforms of social medias. And also, we can order foods, book tickets for travels and movies, and many more with the help of the technology. And yes, admit it or not, in today's generation, we can easily access and get both products and services even if it is 1,000 miles away in our location. For example, Lazada, Shopee, Shein, and many more stores. Also, technology helps elderly people as well as disabled people through their highly recommended and invented machines. So now, let's move forward to the disadvantage of the living in the IT era. So the disadvantage is that, number one, social isolation and loneliness. Way back years ago, we used to play outside. But now, due to the demand of the technologies and gadgets, we can play video games inside our rooms. We can play online games inside our rooms. Number two, job loss or low value of human worker. As we can see, or like, let me give you this scenario. As I scroll down my Facebook, I can see some of the workers in the Jollibee or McDo that they are now invented robot machine for them to be saved with the salary. And yes, with that, there are impact with the low value of human workers. Number 3, negative impact of students. Yes, admit it or not, due to the technology or due to the information technology, we used to search our projects, our homeworks, or any other stuff in Google. And with that, we forget to study harder. That result, I can say that we are living in a digital era or in a digital world or in a millennial generation in which we didn't value more often the print ads since we value more the cell phones or the gadgets. Just one click or in just a scroll, we can easily get updates for our daily lives. So, that would be all. Thank you, and I hope you learned something for today's discussion. God bless and take care.